Hi, this is Rick, and this is my Pyramid Solitaire game at pyramidsolitaire.net. I'm doing a quick walkthrough of how you play. So basically, the way it is, you have these cards in this pyramid, and then these six cards along the bottom. And any card that isn't partially covered up by another card is available for play. You also have a stockpile up here, which isn't the case in all of my modified versions, but at least in traditional Pyramid Solitaire, the stockpile's up there. And what it is you're trying to select pairs of cards that have a sum total of 13. So 10 and 3, for instance, can be clicked, and once I click the 10 and click the 3, they're both removed. And you're trying to remove all the cards until you've, removed this entire pyramid. Some versions you have to remove the cards at the bottom too in order to win. In this one, you have to do the pyramid, and that's it. And you also have the stockpile that you can deal cards from. So you have your first card. This is the equivalent of like the peek card. If you were playing with a deck of cards, you'd be able to like look at the top one by kind of pulling it up before you put it into the waste pile, which is right here. But as you deal cards, they move from this peek card down into the waste pile. But what you do is you use these ones to try and remove more of these cards. Now you'll notice that I have some of these cards dimmed, and those are the ones that are unavailable because they're partially covered up. But also, you can remove kings just straight up by clicking them as is, because their value is 13. Queens pair with aces, so I can click this queen and click this ace and remove those two. And of course 10 and 3 and 9 and 4 can be removed, and then a jack and a 2, like that. And as you deal cards, so I can remove this 9 and 4, 8 and 5 can be removed. As you deal out cards here, now these you don't have to remove, so I recommend holding on to these guys as long as possible, because you might need them to remove some of these upper cards. But as you deal more cards from the stockpile into the waste pile, you can't reach the cards that are covered up. You kind of have to put them down. So you'll notice that this card is dimmed, the 10, so I couldn't use that 10 with the 3. However, I do have an undo button, because I would like to remove that 10 and 3, and I can click undo, and then I can remove the 10 and the 3. And I could deal a couple more cards out here, the ace and the queen. The king can just be removed. You might as well just get rid of those when they come up. And that's how you play. And once you've removed all the cards from the game, then you've won. There's also this full screen button I've added down here, which is a nice feature. I also have several modified versions of this. The easiest one to understand is par pyramid. The difference between pyramid and par pyramid is in traditional pyramid, you can't pick up all the cards in your waste pile and redeal them once you've cycled through. But in par pyramid, you could do that a couple times, kind of like in Klondike. Once you've, like, for instance, if I deal out all the cards here in just normal pyramid, once I get to the end, I can't remove anything. It's just, they're just all dealt out. I'm hitting this undo to get them back, but you'll notice the deck just disappears. So there's nothing that I can do to remove those. Whereas with par pyramid, you have like a little reset deck icon that appears, and you can click that, and then you could cycle through the deck 2 more times to try and remove all the cards in the pyramid. Makes it a lot easier. Pyramid's pretty difficult. But I also have several modified versions of this game. If you scroll up a little bit, you could pick Giza, for instance, which is essentially all of the cards here are dealt out, so that you have these 3 pyramids, and you don't have any stockpile or waste pile, and you're just like in the other one. You can remove the kings, and you're trying to pair up with 13, so ace and queen can be removed, and I can remove these kings. Do I have, let's see, an 8 and a 5? And it's the same game basically, but you have a different layout. And I've done that a few more times. Like Column Solitaire is basically another version of Pyramid. That it's the same thing. You can remove the kings, and you're trying to remove all the cards from the column. So Jack and 2, or 5 and 8. But this time you're just trying to remove all the cards from the column. And then I have this tall tower, which I've also created, which is the same thing basically. So I've got different layouts that you can try, and they all play pretty much the same way. If you get to the end, if you remove all the cards, you've won the game. If not, I detect it if you run out of possible matches, and I run a game over. So that's pretty much it. If you're playing from the Chrome Store, please give me a 5-star rating. I would appreciate it very much, and a good review if you like it. Thanks for playing.